Cadets. Welcome to the quiz show the Earth stood still for. As Greg Proops, your most high commander, I'll be turning the ignition for tonight's two thrusting teams, the Jetsons and the Rocketeers. Propelling the Jetsons, a figurehead who among his many projects plans a Klingon sitcom, Red Dwarf. Craig Charles. Joining Craig, a genius raconteur who recently completed his weighty thesis, If Picard lives in the 23rd century, how come there's no cure for baldness? Fred Macaulay. And a million-selling sci-fi fantasy author whose writing has been described as logically illogical and inventively mad. In Discworld, he introduced us to the brand new color octarine, and I'm tickled blink to have him here on the ship tonight. Terry Pratchett. And in the slipstream of the Jetsons, the Rocketeers, lighting their blue touch paper, an individual who can mingle seamlessly with any culture on any planet. Except perhaps Earth, Bill Bailey. Navigating for Bill, a woman who's lived many years with Rabsy Nesbitt, so the punishment deck will seem like a holiday camp.
You bet.
Elaine C. Smith. And defying time and relative dimensions, a Time Lord whose Doctor Who adventures have taken him from the Happiness Patrol on Terra Alpha to the sinister hinterland of UK Gold. Sylvester McCoy. Our countdown commences with first contact. In isolation, each crew must undergo an extensive science fiction trivia scan. Rocketeers, you have 90 of your Earth seconds. In Babylon 5, who are the secret band of warriors trained specifically to deal with the shadows?
Cliff Richard's fan club.
The Rangers.
The Rangers. Which film depicted a fake Mars landing?
Capricorn 1.
Yeah.
Well done.
Name 4 bands whose names have links with science fiction.
Alien Sex Fiend.
Yes?
Donkey Mind Warp.
Donkey Mind Warp.
Donkey Mind Warp.
Yeah.
That's 2.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
Level 42.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's 1.
Duran.
Duran, that's 4.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which movie poster has the tagline, where the Earth spits out the dead?
The Fussy Earth. I don't want it.
Showgirls.
I'm going to give you that one.
PC.
Zombie flesh eaters. What made Max mad?
He found out Tina Turner was getting paid more than he was.
Yeah. That was in the 3rd one. That's what made him Thunderdome. His wife and child got murdered.
Oh.
And there's a happy note to end that round on. All right, Jetsons, your May the 4 be with you question. Give me 4 comic book characters who have been transferred to the motion picture screen.
Sexist?
Dennis the Menace.
Roger Melly, the man on the telly?
You know, I'd love to give you all of those, but since we're in a sci-fi vein and I am the most high commander, I'm going to insist that they be science fiction comic books.
Okay, Batman?
Batman.
Buck Rogers?
Yes.
Superman? Judge Dredd? Judge Dredd?
Judge Dredd, that is correct. You have 4.
Thank you.
Name Disney's family science fiction film from 1978.
Mad Mouse.
Did we get a bonus point for not saying Uranus?
Pluto
Yes.
does Pluto.
I don't think that's a family film. Does anyone know this? Have you heard of this? The Cat from Outer Space.
No.
Just because you don't know doesn't mean it doesn't exist. What special powers did John Travolta inherit in the film Phenomenon?
He could break mirrors just by looking at them. Which is a power you have, Greg.
Greg, you're going to taste the pain stick before this show is over.
Only if you speak to me in Latin at the same time.
That costs extra quatlus.
Didn't he have telekinesis?
He did, and he had one other.
He could make his dimple actually burst into a smile.
Very close.
Take this seriously, will you please, Terry? He had precognition as well.
Yeah, absolutely correct. He had precognition. All right. In space, you never know when to expect danger, except when an Enterprise away team undertakes a routine mission. In this test, both factions monitor a moment of science fiction peril, and I pose the question, how did they get out of that? Mr. Charles, could you urge your Jetsons to monitor the monitor?
Okay, monitor the monitor, lads.
You fool! You'll need that!
They don't have steering wheels in airplanes.
He's just realised he's got to get the wheel back. Hang on, I've got the wheel.
What is Rocket Man doing in a plane? You never see Spider-Man waiting for the lift, do you? Or Superman kind of waiting at a train station.
Where's the wheel? Where's the wheel? Where's the wheel?
Every second the mountain's getting closer.
All right, how'd they get out of that?
See, the thing is, what happens is you're like 20,000 feet up and you run out of fuel. That's what happened to Rocket Man. He has to hang around there till someone comes past, and like hitchhiking on the aeroplane. It was very fortunate for him that the aeroplane actually came up at that time, I thought.
Not really, Terry, because they crashed into a mountain.
No.
They should have got the three behind.
Trust me on this. At the last minute, they got out.
Yeah,
all right.
But actually, they got killed, but to salvage the duty-free, which is very important.
A few feet before it hit the ground, they jumped out.
All right, let's have a look and see if that's right.
Get right for control.
I can't see. I have an enormous metal thing on my head. Get out of the plane.
What?
I think. Ah.
Yeah, we know still happening.
No.
Hey!
They did jump out of the plane. Wow. We must have missed that the first time around. Rocketeers, for your pleasure, a tight situation for Flash Gordon.
Doesn't seem to be working.
What's that? Is that a laser?
It's a laser beam.
That looks like a giant stick of head on a rock.
Jimmy's not working.
Oh, they're kissing.
Yeah.
The shaft of light.
Steady.
Pardon?
Of light.
Well, I've no idea. But I imagine, I don't know, well, maybe the smoke builds up and then clears. And then he walks out and says, tonight I am Peters and Lee.
All right, let's take a look and see how they got out of it.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Where did
Robin.
it come from?
Oh, we never saw that.
Robin Hood arrives.
It's a wee pixie.
Oh, he put...
Oh,
There you are.
never guessed that. We'd never have guessed.
He shot a cuckoo clock.
I was going to say, in what future did shooting a clock save everyone? When mastering the warrior tongue, there is no conversational Klingon, only confrontational Klingon. The phrase book that starts a fight in 40,000 different situations. As a lord of the warrior tongue, I shall emit an everyday Klingon phrase. Our teams will then try to transcode it into English. Rocketeers. Get set to get wet. Park var jes ach. Bish lul nechar. Be mau min du wish.
Gesundheit.
For a holiday in England, the weather can't spoil. Oh, Debbie, my daughter, the other Klingon girls may call you pretty, but you're the ugliest girl in the universe.
She was very happy.
Nicely done. I
Yes.
weep for no one. I have no tear ducts.
Obviously.
You know, they're not known for their sense of humor, those Klingons. And for the Jetsons, a handy phrase which trips off the tongue and gives the teeth a kicking. Let's job che fue. Let's vin get vinny.
Excuse me, miss, have you got this bobble hat in pink?
Forgive me, I have a viral infection.
Sorry, I've got a Cornish pasty on my head.
Today is a good day for someone else to die.
Well, is it,
All we are saying
I think
is give war a chance.
May I borrow your nasal hair trimmer? Hal.
It's Al, Greg.
Yeah, like I give a Shatner. May I have the scores?
Jetsons 11, Rocketeers 8.
All righty.
Behind, but behind.
I am duty bound to allow our shields to drop so blipverts can transmit. Please cover your eyes to avoid subliminal messages. In the meantime, here's a brain burner to see you through the break. Not everyone has enjoyed a long and fulsome career in science fiction movies. Just ask Biggs from Star Wars. Which science fiction movie brought these two together? We'll be right back.
I know the answer.
Welcome back. I asked you, which movie brought together Gregor Fisher and Richard Burton? Teams, any ideas? Yes, Elaine.
Well, actually, is it not? I remember it. It was an episode of Nesbitt, Rhapsody Nesbitt, and it was the one where Richard Burton drunk Rab under the table.
You're very close.
No, I do know the answer.
Okay.
1984.
You're absolutely right, Elaine, 1984.
No point.
Good against remotes is one thing, kid. Good against the living is another. There are areas of sci-fi which even your most high commander cannot fathom. Like, in battles, how come the bad guys always attack one by one? Well, in space, no one can hear you laugh. In this test, our teams have been bestowed with a space oddity. They're primed and ready with plausible descriptions of it. Can the opposition detect which is authentic? Rocketeers, here is your objet d'odd, Sylvester.
Oh, thank you. No, this is an old friend. Yes, I used to have this when I was in Doctor Who, or Dr. Key in French. Anyway, if I did the wrong thing with this, you know, we could be up to all sorts of trouble with dogs' doings, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Terrible pong.
Yeah, terrible pong. But if you, it also got me out all sorts of trouble. It could open locks and doors, and when the scriptwriters couldn't work out what to do next, they'd come up with this. It's the sonic screwdriver.
Very well. Captain Bill.
Excellent work there, McCoy.
Thank you, Captain.
Excellent there, Bones. Right, well, this is a tiny solar-powered razor.
You used it here.
That the evil Zorlan used in the 1977 movie Queen's Gambit to shave his mice.
Elaine, will you please explain?
I will. Why, thank you, Bill.
Aye, my pleasure.
This is actually a pneumatic syringe, as used by Dr. Leonard McCoy on the Starship Enterprise. And you just sort of shove it in your arm, and it's filled with air, and it goes right in through the skin, and it's called a pneumatic syringe. There you are.
All righty. A huge planetoid swell of support for Elaine's suggestion that it's Dr. McCoy's pneumatic syringe. Bill said it was the razor Zorlan used in Queen's Gambit to shave the mice. And Sylvester says it's Doctor Who's sonic screwdriver. Gentlemen.
if I can just pick Bill up, in the film Queen's Gambit, Zorlan was a goodie. And he'd used it to shave hamsters, not mice.
Well
I think you might be wrong with that one.
Well
Nitpicking.
Well, process of elimination leaves us two, gentlemen.
Well, I mean, if you inject air into your bloodstream, your heart blows up, so that one's got to be out, hasn't it?
It's in the
Not in
future.
space, in the future it does.
Key is French for who, and that's a sonic key. Does that mean it's a sonic who? I can't work it out. But I'll go with Sylvester McCoy's answer, because he's a doctor.
All right. Let's look and see if you're right.
I'd just like to say, Sylvester, that wasn't my favourite Doctor. It was Tom Baker.
Anyway, Jetsons, your article of weirdness. Terry, if you'll grab this for me.
Thank you. We'll pass it down and let Fred go first. Here you go, Fred.
Okay.
Well, any science fiction movie or TV show that starts with a bit of gadgetry, you know that it's going to be this bit of gadgetry that's going to blow up at the end and cause mayhem. Like in Star Trek, it'd always be, how are things going, Mr. Scott? Aye, that's the antimatter thing fixed, Captain. And you can be sure that 55 minutes later, oh, if it wasn't just for that antimatter thing, I just can't get it to work, but that doesn't matter. At least the transporter beam still works. It's a bit
I didn't understand you because you were doing it with a real Scottish accent.
Well, I'll mix in some Belfast then. This was a rod sorter in, well, kind of rod sorter. I mean, that obviously wasn't the technical term for it. It was a thing sorter in the film 2 Minutes to Meltdown.
All right, Captain Charles.
Okay.
Shoot your best shot.
This is an old buddy of mine. This made my life hell on seasons 1 and 2 of Red Dwarf. This was the reason we all didn't get home until gone midnight, because it kept breaking down and it would never do as it's told. It's remote controlled. It's a scooter, it's like a service droid, and it's remote controlled. And it just never do what it was told. It just walk into walls, nut you in the nuts, and everything. And these fingers actually moved on the real scutters, and actually did grab me in a private place one time. It was built to be the hands of Rimmer, because Lister knew what he did with his hands and would have none of it. So it's a scooter from Red Dwarf.
All right.
A nice try. There was a little-known Roger Corman movie made in the late 60s, I think, and set in the 24th century called Catch Your Breath, about the privatization of the Earth's atmosphere by a company. And I believe one of the heroes was a little boy called Tommy, who at one point goes into a milk bar and orders a milkshake, and this makes it for him. You can see how these things are able to... I think hydrogen was pumped into the milkshake to give it a bit of air. But the curious thing is, because of the way science fiction tends to recycle things, a design very similar to this was used some 20 years later in a not very popular, short-lived TV science fiction sitcom.
Outstanding work, Ensign Pratchett. You brought a great deal of veracity to that.
Yeah.
All right, Fred says it's a rod thingy from 2 Minutes to Meltdown. Craig says it's a cleaning scutter from Red Dwarf. And Terry Pratchett, the voice of authority, says it's a milkshake whipper from Catch Your Breath.
But did he also just say that it was in Red Dwarf later?
A version of it.
Yeah.
Don't get all confused
No,
like that.
Yes, he did, Doctor Who.
It's a Kenwood chef from the future. No, I don't believe that. No, what do you think?
I think it's Craig's. Very
What do you think?
Craig's?
Craig's.
Craig's, yeah, we'd go with Craig's scutter.
All right, let's look and see if you're right.
Yes.
But there ain't no place in the whole space. What's this, guys?
What's that?
Like any great Star Trek episode, we've got just 2 minutes to tie up all of the loose ends implausibly quickly and head off with one last quip from the captain. So, all phony niceties into the trash compactor for our final quickfire trivia scan. Fingers on Phaser's crew. What were the ships in Space 1999?
Spaceships.
Paul.
Airfix 1 and 2.
Fred.
Were they called ships just under 20 quid?
Elaine.
The Eagles.
That's right, Eagles. Who is the most shoplifted author in Britain?
That's me, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I can confirm that because I've robbed loads of them.
At the time, it's not
You sign over for
Greg, can I get a bonus for knowing who the least shoplifted is?
Yes, who is it?
Jeffrey Archer. People actually put them back in the shelves.
What links RoboCop, Total Recall, Starship Troopers, and Sharon Stone?
Paul Verhoeven.
Paul Verhoeven.
Director.
What gets the aliens drunk in Alien Nick?
Alco Pops.
Milk.
Milk.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sour. Fred?
No, if he got it right, it's pointless me trying. Unless I was going to say milk.
Nicely deduced.
Or bucket.
Who played the $6 Million Man's boss?
Oscar Goldman.
Oscar Goldman.
Oh, wow.
Yes?
No, I was just a celebration. That was no.
On which planet do the Time Lords live?
Rolex.
Gallifrey.
Yes.
Galloway. I mean Gallifrey. Gallifrey.
What item of clothing did Ed Wood have a particular fetish for, Terry?
Angora sweaters.
Angora sweaters.
Ladies, Angora sweater.
My God, you're extra correct. Who wrote the Robot series?
Isaac Asimov.
Isaac Asimov. What links the Beast, Havoc, Gambit, Rogue, Storm? Yes, Craig.
The shipping forecast.
They all play for Wimbledon?
Sylvester, Terry.
Are they gladiators?
No. I shall finish. Jubilee, Cyclops, Fred.
Ladies, Angora sweater.
Colossus, Psylocke, Nightcrawler, and Wolverine.
The X-Men.
Bill, the X-Men. Who starred in the ecologically sound science fiction film Silent Running?
Craig. Brewster.
Brewster. Original. My goodness, that's the end. Hal, are you still seeing that little laptop?
No, Greg. She made fun of my floppy disk.
Did you show her your hard drive?
Would you like the scores, Greg, please?
Yes, yes, yes.
Jetsons 26, Rocketeers 23.
Outstanding. We're burning up on re-entry again. A big boost to our teams, the Jetsons. Craig Charles, Fred McCauley, and Terry Pratchett. And the Rocketeers, Bill Bailey, Elaine C. Smith, and Sylvester McCoy. As the blue skies rise on Mars, this is Greg Proops, your Most High Commander, saying, hasta la vista, baby. Peace out.
Staying with comedy after the break, an episode from the classic era of Roseanne is coming up.
Wax, watch it blaze like mango. Yippee-yi-yo.